Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Money Mondays. My name is Belinda Ray. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG, joined by my regular colleague,
Paul Johnson, the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG, and
Gagne, the Sustainability Program Coordinator.
that was seamless. Seamless. Well done, everybody. We are here to let you know about resources and funding opportunities in the region. And with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. Paul, take it away.
yeah, so I have mentioned brownfields a couple of times since we started Money Mondays, but I wanted to give a specific update today about brownfield assessment funds. And the backdrop to this is we just received our signed contract from the EPA. So the funds are not only have we been approved, but it is official. And so I just want to take this moment to reiterate what brownfield assessment funds are and how you can use them starting on October 1st. So we don't have the money yet, but we will have it on October 1st. And what can they do for you? We have $500,000, and this is for free environmental assessments, no cost to you. And this covers both public and private properties. So a lot of times with just a basic commercial property that is going to be bought by a private entity, the bank might require at least a phase one environmental assessment, which we'll get into the difference of phase one and phase two in a couple minutes. But even with a private transaction, a phase one might be necessary. And there's actually there's a path where GPCOG might be willing to fund that phase one. I don't think we're going to fund every single phase one with every single commercial transaction, but an important part of this program, it's for private and public entities. And as it says down in the next bullet, it works for many owners, municipalities, nonprofits, private properties. All of these owners are eligible. If a property is going to go up for sale in some capacity, typically a phase one is required if it's a commercial property, either by the bank or by a different entity. And what does this do? This essentially helps us recognize if a phase two or further remediation might be available. If you want to go to the next slide, Belinda. You might hear the phrase phase one, phase two a lot. A phase one environmental assessment is it's a pretty hands-off approach. It's somebody doing some research on the property, pulling some records, doing some interviews of people that know the history of the property. And it kind of gives an overview of, hey, we think a phase two might be necessary, or based off our research, we know a phase two might be necessary. But you'll see a phase one is pretty stripped down. It includes records, reviews, site inspections, and interviews. It does not include testing soil, air, or water, and it typically is required for a property transaction. If the phase one identifies something, that's when you get a little bit more in depth in a phase two, which is actually testing the material, the air, the water, the soil, actually sending stuff to the laboratory, determining the type of contamination, what kind of cleaning might be done. But by and large, a lot of properties, a phase one's required, and then you're done, right? So just because you get a phase one environmental assessment, it doesn't mean you've opened the door to a bunch of rigmarole and you're going to delay your transaction and everything's going to fall apart. It's actually quite the opposite. It's a great way to mitigate risk and to make sure that you don't essentially take control of a property that down the line you might be held responsible for contamination that actually wasn't you at all. So again, just to reiterate, October 1st, this is different than our typical, hey, we'll come in and help fund up the cleanup environmental remediation. This is a really different animal. It's about making transactions risk-free for business owners and for municipalities or any other entity, and B, to actually, fund a soft cost that might get in the way of a transaction. So that is my pitch for phase one assessments. Nancy, who is just back from our National Brownfields Conference, Nancy from Portland, she's watching. I hope I nailed it, Nancy. Just let me know.
Thanks, Paul. And today I am going to start talking about Charging Smart, which is a program of the IREC, the Interstate Renewable Energy Council, and it works to assist local governments in setting and in achieving their EV readiness goals. But I'm not an expert here. I have a special guest star. No, it is not Matt LeBlanc as Joey. We'll get him out of here. It is, in fact, as you saw at the beginning, our very own John Gagne as himself. So John, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you, Belinda. I'm really excited to talk about Charging Smart. So GPCOG received funding to provide no-cost technical assistance, and Charging Smart is a national recognition program for local governments to facilitate the adoption of electric vehicles and EV charging for their residents and businesses. And the whole purpose behind this project and why GPCOG can come into play is to really reduce those barriers for EV charging installation projects and help make it easier and more convenient for folks to drive electric. And so this project touches on 6 key categories. And within these categories, there are sort of a series of actions that municipalities can review, complete, undertake, as well as get credit if the municipalities have already completed this or already sort of dedicated effort towards exploring some of these actions. And so some of the categories are planning, government operations, regulation, incentives, utility engagement, shared mobility. And so over the next 6 months, we're recruiting municipalities that want to participate in this project, and we'll be hosting monthly cohort sessions where we'll be doing a deep dive into all of these topics. So having some subject matter experts come and present on strategies to approach each of these topics, and then really have some intentional opportunity for some high impact peer-to-peer sharing opportunities, sharing successes, what works, and what some challenges communities are facing. And so, like I mentioned, this is a national recognition program. So I wanted to give you all a little flavor for what recognition sort of entails and what the requirements are. So there are 3 requirements in total. There's a bronze, silver, and gold designation level. And so as we're enrolling communities into this partnership and going through this process, we're going to be aiming to enroll at least every community in this bronze designation category. And so some of the actions that are included in this designation criteria are action items like reviewing zoning requirements to identify barriers for EV charging, having a standard EV charging permit application process, having a clearly identified infrastructure permitting checklist, making it available for everyone to see that process, having conversations with utilities, as well as some requirements and points from some of the other categories. So 10 points from any of the actions that are outlined in planning, and then 15 from education and incentives. And so all those action items can look like any of those requirements listed right there. So where does GPCOG come into this process? So GPCOG actually got the funding to provide this expert technical assistance to walk municipalities through all of these actions, provide some guidance, as well as really walk through those national best practices. And so, what we will do is sit down with each community, walk through all of the actions that a municipality has already completed, and identify actions that a municipality might want to complete in the future, and really try to identify a clear pathway towards one of those 3 designation levels. Again, reiterating that we're at least aiming for everyone to be enrolled in that bronze designation level. And so we have a series of guidebooks, templates, resources, information directly from IREC, who is the project creator, and sort of connecting those resources directly to communities and translating them for the main context. And so this is a great way to align EV readiness with local climate goals, economic development, planning best practices, et cetera. And so IREC has really done an amazing job at outlining this project and clearly identifying a pathway forward for municipalities. They've developed this program guide, which outlines a series of 149 actions across all 6 of those criteria categories that I had talked about before. So there's a lot of different unique ways that a municipality can achieve those different designation levels. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all. Each municipality can sort of craft their own adventure for achieving those designation levels. And so there's a lot of resources and links and best practices that are shared in this program guide, and we can share the link with you all if you want to explore more and learn more about the project as a whole. So some of the benefits, you get free GPCOG technical assistance, which you're very active in this EV space right now. We're looking at a time frame of starting cohort sessions in September, and then the designation process will wrap up sometime around April. There will be those 6 monthly cohort meetings, really creating those peer-to-peer sharing opportunities and an opportunity to sort of collaborate with other municipalities in the region. Some commitments is, there might be some staff time commitment required for review of local processes, development of new processes. There might be some level of committee time if you have an active committee that's doing this work as well. Enrollment in this project is very low barrier. It's as simple as filling out a form and listing Greater Portland Council of Governments as the referral person, and that will give us an opportunity to partner with you and get you enrolled with the cohort sessions. And we are looking to have the majority of municipalities that are participating in this project enrolled by September, because like I had mentioned, we're going to be kicking off that first cohort session sometime in September. So here's my contact information if you want to learn more about the project or talk more about what, some of the requirements that are part of this process. Also happy to set up a 30-minute consultation call if you're not quite sure how this project or program fits into your local initiatives. But like I mentioned here, it's as simple as filling out a form, listing us as the referral partner, and yeah, here to chat if you want to talk more about how you can get involved in this project.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, John. That was really very informative and far better than I would have covered it, and far calmer, can I just say? I listen to your voice and I'm like, man, I should just not have so much coffee before I do this in the morning. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Any closing words from anybody?
I don't have anything. I actually don't. I don't.
Nothing, nothing at all.
I mean,
Okay, great.
I could sing again, but
Yeah, always welcome. Always welcome. Well, maybe we'll put together a little singing goodbye for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Promises,
I think
promises.
all guests should be required to sing us out. So John, sing us
Oh
out.
yeah. John, go for it.
What's the outro song?
Whatever your favorite song
I went
is
with
right
Mr.
now.
Rogers last time. So.
Closing time.
Closing time. Nice. All right. And with that, goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you back here next week at Money Mondays. Bye.